Hello everybody, welcome to Yoga for Self-Love with Kim. I am Kim. This will be a short, gentle practice today. We will open through the hips, move some energy through the hips. It's a repository for lots of feelings, emotions, and stuck energy in the body. So we will move our hips around, get rid of any junk that we're holding onto, and let things go. So you may want a block for your practice. Feel free to grab that, have it handy. We'll use it in a little bit. Find your way down onto your back into Shavasana. If you prefer another starting point, then please feel free to take what works for you. You can find a comfortable seat or find your way into child's pose. And if you're taking Shavasana, but you have low back issues or your back is feeling a little tweaky today, you can always bend your knees, plant the feet on the mat and point the knees up towards the ceiling, or even take the feet a little bit wider to outer edges of the mat and let the knees knock in towards each other and support each other there. So you find your comfortable position to begin. If it's okay for you, you can close your eyes. And then just let yourself settle in wherever you are. Let gravity have you. Let your body soften and begin to root down towards the earth. Notice any points where your body comes into contact with your mat. Just allow those points to get heavy and settle in. Bring one hand to rest on your heart, one hand to rest on your belly. Just take a moment to check in with yourself. Notice how you're feeling today. And as always, I invite you to bring in the intention to be gentle, kind, patient, loving, and compassionate with yourself as you move through this practice. Begin to tune into your breath and just notice how your breath feels. Take a few deep breaths in through the nose, sigh the breath out through your mouth, make an audible sigh. Continue to breathe deep, smooth, steady in and out of the nose. And then you can release the hands from the heart and the belly, reach the hands up overhead, bring the legs together and stretch the whole body along, fingers to toes, feeling free to yawn or sigh. Both of which are calming to your nervous system. So feel free to do that now or anytime throughout this practice. Let everything relax and let's bend the knees, bring soles of your feet together and knees open out towards the sides of your mat. And if this feels intense on the inner thighs, you could grab your blocks here, tuck a block under each thigh or knee and find a little bit of support here, but you won't be here for too long, just another breath or two. And then bring the knees up together. Now step your feet wide to the outer edges of the mat. Take the arms out to the sides. We'll drop both knees over to the right side. And then bring the knees up through center and drop both knees over to the left side. And And sway the knees from side to side a couple times. Next time you drop the knees over to the right, pause there for a breath or two. You can stay like this, or you could even pick up that right foot, place the pinky toe side of that right foot onto the left thigh. And then release that right foot back down to the mat where it came from. Pick the knees up and then wave them through center and over to the left side. Pause here for a breath or two, and then again, if you like, on this side, you could lift up that left foot, place that pinky toe side of the left foot to rest on that right thigh. And then release, left foot comes back to the outer edge of the mat where it was, and then bring both knees up. Draw the knees in towards the chest now, so the feet are up off of the floor, knees hugging into chest, and then drop both knees over to the right side. Now extend that left leg, the top leg, out towards that right side, so that left leg will be hovering above the right a little bit. Flex that left ankle, press out through that left heel, reach out through the left fingers, so left foot, left hand reaching away from each other. You can play around with moving the left arm maybe up towards the ear a little bit, maybe left hand down towards the bottom of the mat a little bit. Find where you get some really nice sensation through that outer left hip, up into that left arm, armpit, and across the chest. And then we'll bend that left knee, stack it back on top of the right, bring the left arm back down, draw the knees back in towards center, in towards the chest, and then same thing other side, drop the knees over towards the left side. Now extend out through that right leg, the top leg, and reach up and out through that right arm. So you could just take the arm out to the side, or maybe bring that right arm up towards the ear a little bit, or up towards that top corner of the mat. Maybe you adjust that right leg, maybe bring it down towards the bottom of the mat a little bit, reaching right hand, right foot away from each other. And then release, right arm comes down, stack that right knee on top of the left, and then bring your legs back into center. Now extend your legs up towards the ceiling. Take the hands inside of the thighs and then open the legs out to the side. Hands holding the inner thighs. Flex the ankles here. And then bring the legs up together. Reach the arms up towards the ceiling. Now open legs and arms out to the side. Bring everything towards center. Cross one ankle, one wrist in front of the other. Open arms and legs out to the sides again. And then again, arms, legs come back to center. Other wrist, ankle cross in front this time. Open the legs. Cross the arms and legs. Open it wide. Cross arms and legs. A couple more times, opening and crossing. And then reach the fingers, the toes up towards the ceiling. And then just bend the knees, the elbows, shake arms, legs, roll wrists, ankles. And then take hands behind the back of the thighs. Send your feet up towards the ceiling. Hug the knees in towards your chest. Feet pressing up towards ceiling. Happy baby modification. Stay here, or if it's available to you, you can move into your full happy baby. Reach your hands up for your feet, inner edges, outer edges, heels, calves, shins, whatever you can grab hold of. Pull the knees down towards the mat or down towards your armpits. And then stay at center here, or if you like, give yourself a little rock from side to side. And then bring yourself back to center. Release your feet. Draw the knees into the chest. And then find your way up to a seated position, or if you like, rock and roll yourself back and forth along the spine. A few times. When you feel ready, roll yourself on up and bring yourself into a seated position. And let's take soles of feet together here. Baddha Konasana, take fingers underneath the shoulders. Press the feet together, press the fingers down into the mat. Sit up nice and tall. And then we'll drop that left knee over on top of the right. Top of that left foot will sit in the arch of that right foot. Take the fingers around behind you and lift your heart up towards the ceiling. Bring yourself back to center, and let's just flip the legs over to the other side. So now the top of that right foot will sit in the left inner arch. Fingers around behind you, press down into the mat. Lift your heart up, lift your gaze up. And then bring yourself back to center. Let's take the soles of the feet together. Again, knees come wide. Press down into the fingers, sit up nice and tall. And then we'll take the hands inside the thighs, open the legs out to the side, nice and wide, coming into Upavishta Konasana. Take the fingers behind you. Again, sit up tall, flex the ankles, point the toes up, knees up. Could have a bend in the knees here if you need it. And then stay here, or you can begin to hinge forward from your hips, walk the hands forward, and fold into your degree. Maybe you even take a few little pounces here, sort of lifting and lowering the heart. And then bring yourself up, hands underneath the thighs, draw the legs in. Let's find our way over onto hands and knees, coming into table position. Now grab one of your blocks and have it handy next to you. You may want it momentarily. Come on to hands and knees and give your hips a little rock from side to side, or find any movement that feels good here. And bring yourself to center. Take a peek over towards that right hip. Little contraction through the right side body. Find some opening through that left side body. Bring yourself back to center. Take a little peek over towards that left hip. And then bring it back to center. Now press down into the hands. Extend that right leg back behind you, hip level-ish. And then we'll draw that right leg over towards the left side. Bring it off of the mat. Come up onto the ball of that right foot. Press into the hands. Press into that right heel. Take a little peek over towards that right foot. And then bring it back to center. Extend right leg back behind you. Now bend that right knee. Draw it underneath your body. Round up through your back. And then we'll bring that right foot to the other side of that left knee. So you are now wrapping that right knee in front of the left. Let's open that left leg out towards the right side of the mat a little bit. And then slowly lower your bum back. So you come to sit on your bum, and this is where you may want the block. If you do, feel free to tuck a block right underneath your bum, sit up on top of it. So we're now coming into cow face pose. Knees are stacked, feet out to the sides. And then slowly find your way back onto the hands, and then we'll slowly pluck that right knee back up towards the chest. Extend the leg back out behind you and release that right knee down to the mat. Now let's extend the left leg back, hip level-ish. Take that left foot over towards the right side, off of the mat. Come on to ball of that left foot. Take a little peek over towards that left foot. And then send that left leg back behind you again. We'll bend that left knee, round up through the back, hug that knee in towards the chest, and then take that left foot in front of that right knee. Right foot comes over towards the left side of the mat, so feet to
outer edges of the mat, and then you slowly lower yourself back again to sit up on a block or sit up on your bum. And then we slowly walk ourselves back. Hands come forward. Pluck that left knee in towards the chest. And then extend the leg back. Release that left knee down to the mat. Now take both knees wide. Big toes coming towards each other behind you. Send your bum back to your heels. Coming through a child's pose here. Give your hips a little rock side to side. And then bring it forward into table. Now let's tuck the toes under behind you. Begin to walk the hands back. Roll yourself up onto the balls of the feet. And then maybe if it's available to you, you can drop the heels to the mat. Turn the toes out at a little bit of an angle. Bring yourself into Malasana, squat pose. Take the elbows inside the knees. Palms come together at the heart. Elbows press, knees open, knees hug in towards the elbows. Turning on through the inner legs. Find a nice long spine from the tail all the way up to the crown. And then slowly bring it forward. Hands come to the mat. Root down into finger pads. Hug the arms in. Tuck toes under. And then press the hips up and back. Down dog. Walk your dog, pedal at your legs, find any movement that you like here. Bend your knees, crouch down, and then send the hips back up into down dog. Again, bend knees, crouch down, send hips up to down dog. And the knees, crouch yourself down. And this time when you send the hips up, send right leg up, also three-legged dog. Then bend that right knee, point it up towards the ceiling, open through that hip. Roll that knee around in a few little circles. Re-extend that right leg up and back and release that foot down. Crouch yourself down, tiger dog, send the left leg up, three-legged dog. Now bend that left knee, point it up towards the ceiling, opening through that hip. Roll that knee around, few little circles. And then re-extend that left leg up and back, release that foot down to the mat, and slowly walk yourself up to the top of your mat. Lift the belly up off of the thighs for a moment. Fold yourself from your hips. Bigger little bend in your knees and let your head go. So you bring it into a forward fold, Uttanasana or Ragdoll. You can sway yourself from side to side. Sway the hips. Shake, nod the head. Hands to the mat or grab your elbows and sway the arms. And then bring yourself to center, hands to your hips, press into the feet. Lift yourself all the way up. And then let's turn to face the long edge of your mat. Step your feet out wide. Open the arms up. Five-pointed star. And then release the arms down. Soften the knees. Turn the right toes towards the top of the mat. Bend both knees and give yourself a little wiggle back and forth, and then open into warrior two, bending that right knee, pressing it over towards the pinky toe side of that foot. Rooting down into pinky toe side of the left foot as you lift up through that left inner arch. Activate through the inner legs, pressing the feet down and away, and at the same time hugging the feet in towards each other. Let's open the arms wide. Give yourself a smile. Look over the right fingers. And then release the arms down. We'll take the right hand to that right thigh. And then begin to straighten that right leg, folding from that right hip, and we'll take it into a triangle pose. You can take right hand to the right shin or thigh or mat or block. We'll reach that left arm up and over the ear or up towards the ceiling. And then soften that right knee. Left hand comes back to that left hip. Press into that right foot, lift yourself up, open up the arms again, bring it back through your warrior two. And then release the hands down. Straighten that right leg, turn that foot in, soften knees, turn left toes towards other end of your mat. Rock yourself back and forth and then open into a warrior two. Arms reach wide. And then release arms down, right hand to right hip, left hand to that left thigh. Begin to straighten that left leg or make it a little bit straighter. Hinge from that left hip, side bend over to the left. Both sides of the body nice and long. Hand comes to that shin or thigh or block or mat. Right arm reaches up towards the ceiling or over that right ear. And then right hand comes back to that hip, soften that left knee, push into that left foot, lift yourself up, we'll open it back into warrior two. And then release the hands down, turn that left foot in, open the arms wide, 5-pointed star. Release hands down, let's turn toes out, turn heels in, bend your knees, send the knees out in the direction of the toes as you lower the hips down and lift up the arms, cactus the arms, temple pose, horse pose, goddess pose, whatever you would like to call it. Smile, and then straighten the legs, release the arms, turn the feet in, heel toe your feet together. And then we'll take it into a tree pose now, softening through the knees. Take the weight into that left foot. Open that right knee out to the side. Find your variation of tree pose. You can bring the right foot to that left calf. You can bring that right foot up to rest on that left inner thigh. Or you can just keep the ball of the right foot down on the mat, right heel to that left ankle. Your variation with the hands, arms out wide, palms together, palms at the heart. Maybe right hand to that right thigh, left arm up. Maybe even a little side bend over towards the right. And then release the hands, release the right foot down to the mat, soften the knees again, take the weight into that right foot. We'll open that left knee out to the side. You find that little kickstand, left heel to that right ankle, or left foot to that right inner thigh, or calf, whatever works for you. You take your variation with the hands. Check in with your breath. Nice, deep, smooth, steady. Release the hands, release the foot. Let's turn back to face the top of the mat. Let's take the arms out to the sides, palms together overhead. Soften your knees, fold yourself in, forward fold. And then let's turn toes out. Heels in a little bit of an angle, lower your bum down, lowering yourself down into your squat pose again, palms together, elbows inside knees, hugging in as you're pressing out, nice long spine. And then slowly lower your bum down to the mat. Let's take the soles of the feet together, knees out to the sides. And then let's open the legs wide, coming back through our Upavishta Konasana. Stay upright here, or if you would like, you can fold in. And then bring yourself up.
Hands underneath the thighs, draw the legs in, come back into a comfortable seat and bring the palms together at the heart. For a moment, close the eyes. Check in with yourself. How are you feeling now? Has anything shifted for you? Come back to our intention to be gentle, kind, patient, loving, compassionate with ourselves. Blink the eyes open. Thank you so very much for sharing this short, gentle practice with me today. With love and gratitude, namaste.